Hey gamers, I am CyberSnack7. Hope we're all well, guys. Back again with another video, and this is going to be my MVS games pickups video. Well, actually, it's going to be two because I've picked up 6 games over the last couple of months. So I'll be showing 3 in this first part, and then I'll give you another 3 in the next part, which will be sometime next week. Now, I did primarily say that my collection of my MVS games will be shooters, because I do want to try and get the full set of shooters for the MVS system, and that is true. I have 3 to add to the collection, but I also, in the mix, I'm going to add the odd fighting game, and also I'm going to be adding like the top-down, side-scrolling, run and gun sort of games as well. So this first video is going to be 3 games where I acquired realistically just after Blackpool, and they are 2 top-down run and gun shooters and a fighting game to a series I really do like. I'm very glad to have it at last. So you might see that I'm kind of sitting quite across on the camera. Up here you're going to get a bit of footage of the games as I'm talking about them, so just a bit of entertainment value for you, and saves you looking at this ugly mug all the time. So guys, the first game in question, or should I say the 2 games that I'm about to show you first, I got as one deal from eBay, reasonably priced to be honest with you, because these do vary in price, but as I say, I got a great deal from the guy who's selling them off eBay. And let's talk about the first one. Now the first one is this one, which is Shock Troopers for the MVS system. This is a 346 meg top down run and gun shooter. Really good game. Not much to see on the back because it does give you all the instructions and tells you how to play the game, which is pretty handy to be honest with you. But this game came out in 1997. The premise to this story is technically you are a crack team of like super soldiers, and your mission is to go into and infiltrate the Blood Scorpion gang's base to rescue a scientist and his daughter. And as you can see, as you're playing through this little video that I've got up here, you have got multiple routes to go through. You've got a jungle section, a mountain section, and a valley section. So the replay value is there for you to go back and try different routes once you've done it the first time round. But as you can see, it's a really nice, good graphical game, top-down shooter. And in this version, you have 8 players to choose from, all different styles of weapons that they start with. But as you go through and progress through the game, you can pick up extra weapons, extra bombs, extra life. So there's more in a variety of weapons rather than just having the weapon that you start off with. But every player has its own values and its own skill set. So, you know, as I say, the replay value's there, and it is a very good title. But yeah, guys, excellent title. Do like this style of game. It's very commando, very mercs style of game. But if you love that style of game, then you ain't going to go far wrong with that. So definitely a wise pickup, guys, and definitely a very good game to add to collection. So that, guys, is Shock Troopers. Okie dokie, that's number 1. So you've seen Shock Troopers, you're going to kind of know what's coming up next, really, don't you? So the second game that I'm talking about is the one and only Shock Troopers 2, the second squad. Now this one is a hefty 514 meg. They've upped the game on this one. Very similar in game style. Yet again, a top-down run and gun style action game. I've heard, and I haven't really found that much information on this game, but it's not a direct sequel actually, which is kind of strange. Yet it's still the same in terms of story. This time round, you're a crack team yet again of super soldiers, but there's only 4 of you this time to select from. And your mission this time is to infiltrate the CIB, which is a new, basically, enemy for the game. And they build nuclear bombs and things like that. And I think they've built a super bomb. And you've got to get into their facility. I think you've got a certain time limit, put it that way. I can't remember what the time limit was. And you've got to basically stop them launching their super bomb, which will basically take out the Earth. Now this one came out a year later, 1998. Now the differences with this one is not only do you have 4 players to choose from this time round, The graphical capabilities are slightly better. There ain't no two ways about that. Also, the graphics are very Metal Slug-like. If you can see in this little bit of footage up here, the animations for the soldiers are very Metal Slug, and it does add a lot of you know, value to the game in terms of graphics. Also, you do have vehicles to drive this time round, tanks and other such vehicles. You can jump in and take out other vehicles, and loads of whatever's around you. Now the thing is with this one, which is a bit unfortunate, you do get a bit of slowdown when there's a lot of people on the screen, which I found quite confusing. Technically being because it's more power to the cartridge, and you know that they've just, I suppose they've took away but added in graphical capabilities and made it the way it is, and that's why it slows down, which is a shame. But it doesn't detract from that. It's not major. It's not a major issue. The game's very, very good. Great soundtrack on this one. Absolutely fantastic soundtrack on the second version of the game. But as I say, brilliant top-down shooter. Show you the back. More of the same, guys. Just shows you how to play the game, which is pretty handy, to be honest with you. But as I say, fantastic game. Preferably, a lot of people do like the first one over this one, but I kind of like this one. As I say, the graphics are a lot better. Very Metal Slug type of game, or style of game, should I say, but in the same vein as the first one, to be honest. But fantastic game to add to the collection. Very, very, very happy to add this. And there you go, guys. That is game number 2. That is Shock Troopers 2, the second squad. Oh, it's warm. Hot couple of days over the last, well, yesterday. Was it Wednesday? No, it's Wednesday today. Thursday, tomorrow's supposed to be quite warm. So I'm kind of hot, guys. Right, let's wrap up this video. Enough of me talking crap. The third game in my little collection or selection I'm showing you today is a fighting game. Now, this fighting series I've always liked ever since I first heard about it and first had the opportunity to play it on the ASE system. AES system. Get it right, Jay. I always get that backwards. AES system. Let's get it right. Absolutely fantastic series. Probably on a par with King of Fighters series for me. But as I say, the games themselves, the first one was absolutely still my favourite today. But I'll talk about that more in a moment. But let's talk about the game that I picked up, and this is the third in the series. Picked it up MVS because the price of the actual AES cart is very expensive, 300 plus, and I'm quite happy to own it on the MVS. End of story. And that game I'm talking about is this one, which is Art of Fighting 3, The Path of the Warrior. Now I'll turn that round for you. As you can see, this is in a slightly different box. This is in a mini shock box. This is the one that it come in when I actually received the game. It's a nice little box. It protects it quite well. And obviously it just opens up like so. But as I say, it's a nice little box, and it'll do until I can pick myself up a nice little shock box to pop up on the shelf, so it looks a lot better. But for the time being, very happy to having this. Now this game is 298 meg. This came out in 1996. Have I got that the right way around? No, I haven't. And as I say, this is the third in the trilogy of The Art of Fighting. This time round, the main goal is, and the main story is to do with Robert Garcia. This time he's gone to a fictional Mexico town to meet up with his friend called Freya, who her and Robert are going to look for another guy who's invented this elixir. It's like a potion, and it's like a Jekyll and Hyde sort of thing. So when you take it, you turn into some super being or super fight or whatever. The rest of the actual fighters within the game, especially Ryu Suzuki, who's yet again in it. They're the only two characters from the original Art of Fighting games that are in it. They are on a quest to stop Robert from going on this stupid, foolish crusade sort of thing. Now the fighting selection, or should I say the fighters in this game, the selection of fighters, to me personally, aren't the best throughout the series. They're good fighters that have, they're playable characters, but I think the selection isn't the best I've ever seen. The only two people I'll ever probably use within this game is obviously Robert and Ryu. Now you do have a cameo from Ryu's sister. I can't remember her name now, but she's not a non-playable character. But as I say, the game graphically is very, very good. This time it's motion captured, so you can see the fluidity. The game really flows quite well. You got a lot of good close combat system within the game this time round, and a lot of extra moves, throws, kick downs on the floor, and you still do have your typical art fighting moves from the other previous two games. But as I say, this game, the character selection isn't great. Definitely, by far, number 2 for character selection was the best. They had the best characters selection in the whole series. But in terms of playability and soundtrack and everything about the game, I think number 1 still holds the value for me. It's still easily the best one, because it's the first game I'd ever seen where you was fighting and you actually got hurt. You had bruises appear on your face, and it kind of lost that. You got it in number 2. Number 3, you don't have it. It's gone. But as I say, graphically, it is still a great game. Story's a bit strange, but and as I say, the character selection isn't the best in the series, but still very, very happy to add this to the collection. Love the Art of Fighting series, and as I say, Art of Fighting 3 is quite pricey on the AES system, so I was very, very happy to pick it up on the MVS and enjoy it for what it is. So guys, that is the final game, and that is the Art of Fighting Path of the Warrior. Happy to add that into the collection. So guys, that is the first 3 games for my MVS pickups. I'll be back with another video sometime next week, and I'll be showing you the 3 shoot 'em ups that I picked up for the system. One which is very sought after, believe me. So I'll leave it there, guys. Thanks very much for watching, as per usual, and yet again, as per usual, I am CyberSnake7. Keep playing, guys. Always keep watching. All the best.